These are stories where love meets betrayal. Stories that make you see life a little differently.
I never thought Cleopatra would be the one to save me, or destroy me. At least not her exactly, but the idea of her, the ghost of her, wrapped in every page of the book he kept hidden from me. And that night, that endless rainy night, I finally understood why she mattered so much to him. I stood by the window, watching the rain crawl down the glass. It looked like 1,000 tiny rivers racing each other, desperate to reach the bottom first. The kind of rain that absorbs all sound, that makes you listen to the thoughts you tried to outrun, that forces you to confront what you never wanted to see. He was late again. Late the way only a man who thinks you'll wait forever can be. I remember the exact moment the first seed of suspicion entered me. Not when he changed his perfume, not when he came home smiling at nothing, not even when he started hiding his phone under the pillow at night. No, it was when I found the book, a biography of Cleopatra. Thick, old, smelling like dust and forgotten secrets. He never cared about history. He barely finished a single book in the 6 years we were together. And yet this one, he kept close. Too close. I didn't know then that this book was the map to everything I needed to see. Everything he tried to bury under smiles and apologies. Rain always makes me softer, weaker. It pulls childhood memories out of me. The nights when I listened to the storm and believed that stories could protect me. That if I knew enough, imagined enough, I could be safe. But no one is ever safe from betrayal. Not even Cleopatra, the woman who outsmarted kingdoms, and certainly not me. The night he finally confessed, or rather, the night he was forced to confess, began with that book falling from his bag onto the floor. I heard the thud before I saw it, and when I picked it up, something slipped out from between the pages. A photograph. A woman. Dark hair. Strong eyes. Wearing eyeliner drawn like Cleopatra herself. Smiling at him. My stomach tightened. The kind of tightening you can't breathe through. The one that tells you your reality is about to split apart. I turned the photo over, a sentence written by a familiar hand. You called me your modern Cleopatra. Don't ever forget. The rain got louder outside, like it was trying to warn me or drown out the truth. When he walked in, shaking off the rain from his jacket, he didn't notice the book in my hands at first. Or maybe he did. Maybe he sensed the storm inside me before he even looked. Where were you? I asked. My voice was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that comes from the edge of a cliff. He gave me the usual answers. Traffic, delay, colleagues. The same recycled lies. Then I lifted the book. Everything changed in his eyes. The pupils shrank. His breath paused. Fear. Not of me, but of the truth finally being naked in the room. You followed Cleopatra's story, I said quietly, but not alone.
He didn't speak. Silence is an answer, too. I opened the book to the page where I found the photo. I held up the picture between us. His shoulders dropped. She's just... Don't, I whispered. Don't insult me with that. A long moment passed. Then he said her name. Softly. Gently. Too gently. That softness broke something inside me.
He told me it just happened. Like betrayal was an accident. Like he slipped on wet pavement and fell into another woman's arms. He told me she reminded him of Cleopatra. Powerful, confident, impossible to ignore. He never said I reminded him of anyone. He told me he didn't mean to fall in love with her. And somehow that hurt even more. The ease with which he could aim the word love at someone else. I looked at him and felt myself shrinking. Not because I wasn't enough, but because I tried to be everything. And women who give everything often end up with nothing. The rain outside kept hitting the windows, each drop a small betrayal of gravity. I wondered if Cleopatra felt this way when Caesar left, when Antony lied, when the world told her she was too much, too dangerous, too emotional. History paints her as a seductress, but what if she was just a woman who loved too deeply, who trusted the wrong men, who was punished for wanting to be more than a shadow? I suddenly felt connected to her, across centuries, across impossible distances. Two women betrayed by the same type of man, the kind who worships strength he never intended to stay loyal to. He tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. "Don't," I said again. It came out sharp this time. Rain has a way of sharpening pain. He begged me to sit. I remained standing. I needed to stand to keep from breaking into pieces. He started explaining everything. How they met, how it began, how it grew. Every detail he offered felt like a knife. Every detail he didn't offer felt like poison. I realized I didn't want the truth anymore. I just wanted myself back. The version of me before the lies, before the secrecy, before the Cleopatra he chose over me. When he finished speaking, something changed in me. Not rage, not despair. Something quieter. A kind of clarity that comes only after you lose something you never deserved to lose. "I want you to leave," I said. He looked stunned, like betrayal should be forgiven by default, like women are designed to endure. But Cleopatra didn't endure. She fought. She ruled. She chose her own ending. And so would I. He left the apartment. I didn't watch him go. I listened instead. The rain swallowing his footsteps, washing him out of my life. When the door closed, I finally sat down. Not because I was weak, but because my legs carried too much history for one night. I opened the Cleopatra book again, not to look for her, but to find myself. As I turned the pages, I realized something. Cleopatra wasn't remembered because of the men she loved.
She was remembered because she refused to let those men define her. She built empires with her mind. She survived betrayal after betrayal. She made herself unforgettable. And maybe the rain that night wasn't trying to drown me. Maybe it was baptizing me into a new life.
I closed the book, stood up, and opened the window. The cold air rushed toward me like a new beginning. The rain twitched my face. It felt like truth. It felt like freedom. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel small. I felt ancient, powerful, dangerous, like a woman reborn from stormwater and heartbreak, like Cleopatra. He thought he could break me, but all he did was awaken something I forgot I had. A spine made of history, a heart made of fire, and a will that no betrayal could destroy. I am not the woman he left behind. I am the woman he will never get over. The one he will remember when the rain returns, when guilt becomes louder than silence, when he realizes he traded a queen for a shadow. Because I am Cleopatra's daughter in spirit, not her blood, but her story, her resilience, her refusal to die quietly. And now I walk forward through the rain, not as the betrayed, but as the reborn.
Sometimes pain doesn't come from enemies, but from the ones we trusted the most. Maybe that's how life teaches us to see the truth. Could you forgive such a betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. More stories are coming, stories that will touch your heart.